What is the most profitable system as a life insurance agent that you can tap into? It is going to be Apex. Okay. And I want to talk briefly about what it is and how you can also get access to this system and how you can duplicate this in your own process. Apex to me is more of a concept than it is necessarily just overall package. It is what our package is called, but the thought to be the best and to be the leader and to be the creme de la creme, the Apex, is what made us come up with this. So let's walk through how this system is profitable, how it's duplicatable, and we'll walk you through these different steps. So why? I created this because to date, obviously it's October 15th of 2025. We have helped over 550 life insurance agents issue pay, not annual premium, issue pay $40,000 a month. And part of that has been because number one, we created really good leads and we found out that agents needed to make sure a few things. They needed really good customer service, they needed quality leads, and they need to be affordable and need to work consistently. So we were one of the first companies to ever come out with, not ever, but popularized, the subscription based, the retainer thing wasn't popular when I first started at all. People were just buying leads. We came with a very different setup. We did ad spend, we did this, and now everybody kind of does it. But what happened was, as we continued to ramp up from year one to year two, we found this trend, right? Between my videos on YouTube, other people that were putting out content, more people learned how to do self-gen. Self-gen even became a name that people started using to generate leads. And it's not really self-gen, it's running a business. I mean, you should pay people or figure out how to do it yourself, the way that I look at it, at least. And what I noticed is it became very inherent that just running ads was not valuable. You can go on Fiverr and get somebody for $300 to run ads. What I found that was valuable, people were still struggling. They're like, oh, well, I'm generating my own leads, but they suck. And like, yeah, it's because most of the time they're doing it, or this person who's just trying to figure out a quick way to make money is doing it. Charge some people some fees, they're not really in it, and then most of the time it ends up leaving the agent or agency really in a bad spot. And they can't scale; they're very difficult. And what I thought was, I have the team, I have the infrastructure internally to be able to do that. How can I provide that to clients, but still be able to reap an ROI on my end? And I spoke to my mentor. My mentor suggested that I create something that has a little bit more equity in it, meaning that, life insurance space, people buy leads and the churn rate's super high. So somebody could be working with you for 5 months, but then look at you and say, hey, well, you know what? You didn't provide good leads. And it's like, no, not really. So at the end of the day, there's chargebacks, there's other things that aren't factor with you. It's not as simple as like once somebody gets making money, they should never leave, unlike other businesses, because they're one leg in their business, or they're a few chargebacks away from not being able to pay your retainer fees or your lead spend or whatever. So I was like, how do I find a way to make a process where I can take the things that I know that can't just be duplicatable? Anybody can run ads, but how we run ads, how I think, what I leverage, how I go through those processes and provide it to clients, and take some of the belief shifting ideas that I have acquired and apply it to the clients that we have. And behold came Apex, right? So let's talk about, who does this actually benefit. So specifically, we're looking for agents who are making anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000 a month. Now, here's why we say that. It's not that if you make less than 20K, we just don't like you. I mean, in my opinion, at that point, go work leads, right? Dollar leads, $5 leads, $2 leads. We have tons of them. We got $50 leads. Um, a lot of it is the mindset shift. So you could be at 25K and want to do Apex. Will you have the financial means to? I'm not sure, but I can say that regardless if it's us or someone else, you're going to want to pay somebody a retainer. You're going to want to have your own backend systems, and you're going to find somebody who's an expert who can actually help you scale, right? We're all using the same things, the same platforms, but we need to figure out who it's for. So it's not for newer agents, because newer agents won't have enough capital to put into it. If you're a newer agent, you're an agent who's not making a lot of money. If you think putting $300, $400, $500 a week into a system is going to help you make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you lost your mind. I'm just being honest. So it's for those people that are willing to bet on themselves. So those people that understand business and want to invest. Those are going to be people that actually benefit and who it's targeted for. If you're looking to get into building a system, I'm not talking about self-gen. Once again, self-gen is just you learning how to run ads or paying somebody to run ads. That is commoditized, meaning anybody can do it. What you need to find is professionals. You're trying to build a business, so you need to hire a team. When you hire a team, when you go like to hire somebody, you don't just say, hey, well, you can run ads, we'll be all right. Why? Because if they just know how to run ads, but they can't help you with copy, they can't help you with creative, they don't understand websites, they don't understand branding, they don't understand sales psychology, they don't have a pulse on the market, and they're just some marketing organization that's going to give you something for cheap, it's like, cool, yeah, you're running ads, but they suck. Cool, yeah, you're running ads and they're super cheap. That's great. But what's the ROI? Right? So you as a person have to be ready to take on something like that. The second thing is what? Right? What makes this scalable? What makes this duplicatable? Now, most of the times, if you think that you're going to work with a self-gen company for a few $100s or just buy leads, everybody that comes on has to pay that cost. And that's fine. The question from duplication does not become necessarily, can your people right now afford it? Because in order for you to have a scalable and duplicatable system, needs to be two things. To be scalable, you need to be able to bring other agents in, right? And understand, right, what exactly the margins will be based off the leads that you have, right? You can't scale. You can try, you can grow, but you're not going to actually scale systematically without truly knowing, okay, this is how much my leads cost, this is how much I'm getting them in for. If I bring this many agents, I can spend this much more on advertising, right? I have this to put here. Okay, this is how my CRM set up. Like, you're running a business, right? If you're just bringing agents in and just buying leads, like, that's great, that's fine, but you're gonna have a lot of people at the bottom here. And some people can compensate for that. We work with one of our partners and they're great at that. And that's fine, but most people can't do that, right? You have to have a lot of dog in you. No CRM, nothing. It's just true hustlers. Those people, if that's you, you can partner with us or you can get your own in-house system. But a lot of times you just need more leads. But that's not most people. Most people don't work that hard. They're not willing to put the time in, and unfortunately, they're not going to get the results. Right. So what makes it scalable is that you know how much you put in and what you can get out. What makes it duplicatable is that every agent that does come in can get the same result. Right. And the more you can streamline that, the higher and quicker those two go together. You can scale quicker if you have more of a duplicatable system. So if I spend this much on ads, I get this many leads, I book this many calls, I close this many deals. Boom, 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 right? You figure that out, and then you can plug agents into that. And the more agents that can do that means you have more of a duplicatable system. To the point where if you bring somebody in from XYZ experience, you plug them in, you're good. Similar to my business, been doing this for 3.5 years. I know I can get an agent from 0 to 40K like that. I can tell you exactly what to do, how much to spend, how to call, how to dial, where to go, what script to use, what concepts to use, who to go speak to, etc. And then once they get to 40K, I can help them build a business and take their business from 250 to $1 million a month. Why? Because we've been able to do it. So it's duplicatable. But you can't do that if you're buying from other lead vendors and you're just outsourcing people. Like, it makes no sense. Okay. Last, where? So everybody thinks like, oh yeah, what platforms do you use? I heard Facebook's not good. Like, come on, man. That's dumb. Why would you ever think that? That makes no sense. People are still using Facebook. People will forever use Facebook and Instagram. People use Twitter. People use LinkedIn. It doesn't matter. Just stick with what works. Everybody using Facebook and Instagram. Just use Facebook and Instagram. Stop trying to get fancy. Stop trying to say, oh, well, I heard this. No, you weren't good or you had a bad experience. So if you had a bad experience or you weren't good, just call it that. Don't blame the platform, right? Platforms are there to be leveraged. There's nothing inherently wrong with, oh, bad leads come through Facebook. No, you worked with a company who couldn't generate good leads. There's a very stark difference between the two. When, right? So typically people want to get a system when they're tired of running into a brick wall. What does that mean? Oh, I'm just going to work with this vendor for cheap leads. Cool. You keep doing that, see where that gets you. They come back in a few months. A lot of our clients, the reason they've been working with us for 3 years, not everybody stays for the whole 3 years. People will leave. Oh, I'm going to go try something else because it costs to work with us, right? So people will like, oh, I'm going to go figure something else out. And then they come back. Because the reality is, regardless if it's with us, until you hire a team of actual experts that have actually done it, not just somebody running up an ad, because it's funny, the amount of companies that I've seen, I've only been doing this 3.5 years, but the amount of companies that I've seen get started and not be here. Like, I don't even hear about some of the people. I've been on sales calls for 3 years with people. I don't even know some of the people are like, do you know them? I'm like, no, I don't even try to get to know them because they're not going to be here. When I was selling 5 years ago, there's tons of companies that are completely gone. Well, number one, they were just lead vendors. They couldn't continue to solve problems. If you can solve a problem right now, that's great. But what happens in 3 years? Who's going to be around in 2026? So people get this, girl in the red dress, shiny object syndrome, when they just want to hop from this person to this person to this person to this person. When in reality, like, you need to figure out when and at what point do you say, okay, I'm tired of running into this brick wall. I am going to find a solution, right? The quicker that you can do that, the better off that you'll be. My bad. I thought I had a meeting. Yeah, the quicker that you'll do that, the better off that you'll be. And If you can't do that, or if you don't want to do that, you will continue to stay stuck. The other person is when you're like, I have all these agents, we're going to this person, we're paying all these fees, and they're still not solving our problems. That's because they're not experts. That's because they don't necessarily know what they're doing. They're just running ads. They're just giving you a CRM. People will not sit down and take the time to bring and merge the things that you need together and continue, not just do it once. Oh yeah, I have somebody who runs my ads and does my AI. That's great. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about somebody that's going to give you a team, that's going to help you manage, that's going to help all of your agents, that's going to give you strategy and game plan. Nobody's doing that. If you go find people, you're going to have to put it together yourself, which you can also do, but also keep in mind that would you rather do all that or pay somebody? And I'm just being transparent, right? Like these are the problems that continue to happen. And that's why, going back to the why, I created it because I'm like, nobody else is doing this. And nobody else will take the time to figure out how to do it. But my goal is to figure out how can I help agents and agency owners scale consistently. That's all I'm trying to do. I can help you get from 0 to 40K, or from 40 to 250 with an agency, or 250 to $1 million, because I know what to do and I know the steps that are necessary because we have done it over and over and over again. And once again, if you're watching this video, our job is to help you as a life insurance agent continue to scale, continue to hit new benchmarks, continue to grow. Our Apex system is that which we're going through right now, which will show you exactly what it looks like to actually be a partner with us. If you're interested, you can go to our website, agentleadlab.com/training, agentleadlab.com/mobile testimonials, agentleadlab.com, and you'll be able to click and book your strategy session to speak with somebody on our team in regards to getting set up, etc. But anyways, so let's get back to it. Now, when you think about building your in-house system, there's two ways to do it. Okay, so you can own it or you can lease it. Now, if you own something, right, like full ownership, something you like, oh, I actually own this. If you own, right, then you have to understand that with owning something, you pay a price, right, and you have to manage it. But on top of you managing it, it's an asset. It's an asset, right? So over time, it provides you more value. Now, specifically in our space, when you look at having this asset, what you're doing is every time you spend money, we call it equity advertising. When you spend money when you're leasing, which we'll get to in a second, which is basically what every single other person is doing, generic ads, generic landing pages, just whatever. You're spending money for leads. Those leads are buying into some concept from some Facebook page or some landing page. Great. But it's not you. It's not your name. So what happens? All that data gets fed back to that company, that page, right? That's the intellectual property. On top of that, all your advertising dollars are going towards that page, that company, rather than you keeping it and it being your intellectual property and it being on your page. You know how many people DM our generic pages for our lead offers? Not our partnership offers, our lead offers, where they're asking questions like, hey, like, can somebody call me? I don't want to fill this out. I have people call the phone and it redirects to my phone. Like, you're missing out on that money. They comment on the post. They like the post. Every person that liked the post doesn't fill it out. So what happens if you DM the people who like it? Voila, free leads, free leads. Well, not really free because you pay for the ads, but you get the point. That's what happens when you run ads on your page inside of your platform that you have set up, and then you continue to scale. That's the goal. That's what you should be thinking about on a day-to-day is how do I own the asset? Now, if you lease, that's just buying leads from everybody else, right? We have a part of our business, right? leadlabcrm.com. You can go there. It's super simple. That's another component of our business, another leg for agents who are like, yo, I just want leads. I have no interest in trying to build anything. I don't care about helping my agents grow. I just want leads for me and giving for my agents. I'm cool. I'm not trying to pay no fee, nothing. I'm good. And that's fine too. But at that point, you're leasing. So it's going to be ran on our page. It's going to be our stuff. It's going to be marked up. But it's simple. This lead costs this much. You don't have to think. No business mind to that. Okay? That's owner. That's leasing. Now, the power separation. What this means is people separate at some point. So you have a client who's doing $250 a month. Another client's doing $250 a month in their agency. The client that goes from $250 to $500 or $500 to $1 million or $1 million plus typically has a few things in common. Number one, they obviously work really hard. Number two, they're interested in some system. I'm not saying they have to build a marketing system like leads and AI and drip. I'm just saying they have a process in their mind that they impart to other people that accomplishes a goal. That's their system, right? Now, most people, once again, as I said, those people are typically the same people that can run off like Google Sheets. They have very simple, straightforward processes. That was me when I was selling. Most people want like the fancy stuff, the automation, and that's great. I have no problem with that. They're not able to be those people that can just be extremely disciplined and not require a lot. So if that is you, cool. Once again, we'd still love to work with you. But I'm speaking more or less to the people as well who are like, I need an entire system built out. I'm going here to get a go high level. I'm going here to pay for this AI thing. I'm working with this marketing team. Like, yo, just lock in, right? The separation is when you just lock in. When you just say, I'm going to do it regardless. It's going to work or it's going to work. And this is how I'm going to do it, right? You just figure out what it is. You're like, boom, I'm going to do it and I'm going to keep it rolling, right? The next thing is going to be KPIs. So key performance indicators are essentially, what's my cost per lead? What's my cost per book call? What's my cost to acquire a client? And then I line that up with my goals. So if I, have 10 leads, I book 5 appointments, I close one. What are those numbers? Figure out those numbers. Depending on how much I spend on the leads, that's my cost to acquire a client. If do I want more leads? Do I want to close more? I just got to spend more. It's really simple once you figure out the basics. What you do with that information is not necessarily for you if you're a top dog or you're the agency owner. It's for your newer agents because they are emotional, meaning that they don't know how to separate the emotion from the sale. So you get them to look at numbers. What are your numbers? Remove your emotions. Look at numbers. How many numbers do you have? You're trying to say, oh, well, this isn't good because you don't feel good. It's not about a feeling. It's about numbers. And numbers tie to profit. So how much did you put in? What did you pull out? If that number's higher, you're good. If that number's medium, you're not good. If that number's lower, you're really not good. Okay. If that number's higher, you have to figure out how do you make it higher. And there's only a certain way you could do it. You can either say, hey, I can go get better leads, right? Which is if you're working with top end companies, they're going to be positioning the leads based off what you want. You can figure out, or I need to get better at selling. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing. And most of the times, if you don't even know your numbers, you're like, well, these leads aren't good. It's like, let's look at the data. What are you saying? Like, let's look at the data over a month or 2 month span. How many leads have you gotten from a company, right? How many did you sell? How many did you book? Well, when you do that, you take all the emotion out. You don't say, oh, I had 1 bad week, 2 bad weeks. I had a bad month. Dude, I've had bad months. It's a part of business, right? So you have to be able to track your numbers because if you can't track your numbers, it doesn't matter. And the last one is, it's probably the most slept on one, but being a business owner, right? Like, so understand that everybody wants to say, yeah, man, I want this system. I want a program. I want these things. I'm like, man, half of y'all can't afford the program. Half of y'all aren't even in the position to do that. And that's fine. Just buy some leads. Like, stop trying to complicate things. So many people are trying to be, like, I'm a business owner. I'm this. No, you're not. You're not. It's okay. You're not. You don't have any staff. You have no employees. You can't train your team. You don't know how to lead. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. But just buy leads. Keep it super simple. When you start making a lot of money, and by a lot, I mean whatever is relative to you, enough to pay your bills. Let me give you quantitative or qualitative or whatever it is. Numbers. You can pay your bills, and you have extra money left over to invest into yourself. When you get to that point, and then you can start hiring staff, you have ventured over from the sales to the business owner. Up until then, you're not really a business owner. You're just an agent who makes a lot of money. And I hate to break it to you, but I'm being honest, right? So you have to shift your mind. You need to start watching more videos. Nobody says, man, $3,000 is a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. You have no business acumen if you think $3,000 a month for anything is a lot of money. I don't care if it's leads. I don't care if it's whatever. Like I tell people all the time, the problem now is that COVID and when people switched from in-person sales to virtual is they started getting all these cheap leads because they were all digital. Whereas when you had mail, you had to pay $30 to $45 for a lead. A final expense lead was $35 to $40. Mortgage protection mailers were $70. So it's like people complaining about a lead being $30 or saying, I bought a $2 lead. It's a bad number. I'm like, dude, what are you saying? Like, you should really look and evaluate. It's $2. Like, I don't remember last time I bought something for $2 and was like, oh man, I mean, even if I bought 100 leads and they were all $2, right? And 50 of them were bad numbers, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, dude, it's $2. I spent $200. Are you serious? The problem is people's minds are just off. Like you put $200 in and you made 4 sales. Oh, I didn't make enough. I didn't sell enough leads out of 100. What do you mean? Don't just say, oh man, this is the ROI. I'm not really making what I want to make. off the leads that I'm getting. No, just how much are you making? How much did you put in? Just keep it super simple. And when you spend more, you're just buying your time back. That's it. So, but if you're still a life insurance agent complaining about leads, like you have the game all messed up. I got agents who buy $2 leads and make 20, 30, $40,000 a month. And I got agents that spend 1,500 bucks a week on leads and barely scratch 10K. What's the difference? It's not the leads. It's not the leads, it's the person. Because if it was the lead, then me giving you a higher intent lead would mean that you just inherently are going to be better. And that's not the case. Most people just aren't good. And I hate to break it to you, but that's the reality. So the purpose of this is it's not all about the Apex. It's about building a profitable system. Apex is just what we do. If you can take all these things and either create it yourself or hire some people to do it, that's fine. Most people can't though. And really you shouldn't. Like it doesn't make sense. Like if you were going to do that, just do it. Like don't even be a life insurance agent anymore. Just go all in on the marketing. I'll tell you, it's not easier. It's very straightforward to learn how to sell, buy some leads, and make money. I say it all the time. Like if I didn't get the opportunity to play in the NFL, I would have still been selling life insurance, and I probably would have a pretty big agency. So it's like the decision that you need to make is simply just what am I willing to do or put up to invest in myself? And most people are scared to do that. And they get on these. I talk to a lot of people on sales calls. They're like, yeah, I want to do it, but I'm like, man, you don't want to do it. Just do it. Like, I don't like, we can sit here and talk all day, go back and forth. What's this? What's that? It's like, bro, put the money up, give it a shot, try it out. If it works for you, great. It should, as long as you work. They're leads at the end of the day. Like, this is not rocket science. I'm not telling you to sign up from some woo woo, like, oh, we're going to do something. Like, they're leads. Like, if you truly believe in yourself, even if the leads suck, you'd make your money back and be like, oh, well, that was bad. I'm not giving you something and it's not like you don't know how to sell. So people just have this whole like, well, how many am I going to get? What's the closing percent? I'm like, yeah, of course. I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Like, and nobody's gonna sit here and tell you that it's bad. They're gonna be like, yeah, it's bad. Like your closing percentage is 1%. Like it doesn't matter. Do you get them to pick up the phone? Right? Can you work the lead properly? I have people that complain about our leads not picking up. I have people running the same leads making sales. Like you have to understand, if I can show you that other people are doing it in this industry and you're just not working them properly, and that's fine, but don't blame the companies. And this isn't just for me, this is for anybody. Even if you're just working leads, you can still make a whole lot of money. You don't even need a system. I'm saying the most profitable system. What's the most profitable way for you to scale? You could buy leads from other companies and still run it up. I'm just letting you know that your newer agents aren't going to be able to do that. So know and recognize that that is where the difference comes. The difference comes in you being able to plug people in to a system that's duplicatable, that can scale, that allows you to leverage platforms, that allows you to break through barriers without any constraints, that gives you the ability to separate, allows you to have full ownership, track all of your KPIs, and keeps your mindset as that of a business owner, not just a sales rep. So as always, if this video was helpful, please drop a comment below for anything that you want to see. I'm going to really start pushing these out a lot more. I'm very motivated to find ways to just provide value to you all and really let you all into my insight about how I set a lot of this stuff up. A lot of people have been asking, and I want to make sure I delivered. So as always, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.